Good evening, dear TV friend, and welcome to yet another edition of 7 Days in Focus over DMRO TV here in the Diocese of Buea, with me, Reverend Father Cletus Aka, as your host. During the week, we had a very busy week in the Diocese of Buea, and why not in the world? We succeeded to have a new Holy Father, and of course, in the Diocese of Buea, so many events, church events happen within the course of this week that we shall going to explore them today. And of course, I'm very pleased to have so many good and important guests this evening. And of course, on my left, I have Reverend Father Rodrigue Yancy. Welcome, Reverend Father Rodrigue.
Thank you very much, Father Cletus Aka, and I'm very happy to be on panel with you this evening.
Thank you, and thanks for always being there.
Thank you.
We keep sharing the light of hope.
Thank you.
And on my right, I have a Gloria, a Christian from St. Martin de Porres Parish, Bokwango. So welcome, Gloria.
Thank you very much, Father.
And I hope we are going to have a nice time here.
Definitely.
Okay, dear TV friend, you are just tuning in. We are on to the program 7 Days in Focus. And of course, we shall begin right away with the first story. As the Diocese of Buea commemorates 75 years of existence, various projects were earmarked, like the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral and the multipurpose Bishop Pius Memorial Pastoral Center and many others. These projects, among which is the completion of the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral and a special collection done to see that this project is not pending. Report here with Magdalene Wondo.
As the Diocese of Buea celebrates 75 years, two Jubilee projects were earmarked: the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, which has been recently completed, and the Bishop Pius Our Memorial Pastoral Center. These anniversary projects have had a great impact on the diocese and its 40 parishes.
Little over 4 years that the Bishop took the command baton, he has advanced the projects of this diocese, such as the near completion of this monumental co-cathedral, the multipurpose pastoral memorial center, which is dedicated to Bishop Emeritus Pius Our, new and modern educational structures, the recently opened microfinance bank, the TV station DMR TV, whose live coverage we are enjoying right here.
On other infrastructural projects like the construction of Regina Pacis Microfinance, Repafin, and construction of St. Augustine Primary School, the Presbytery and Church in Boma City, Tico, done by special friends of Bishop Bibi as a way to enhance learning and growth of the church.
True to form, Bishop Bibi rose to the occasion. He used that donation to begin construction on St. Augustine Primary School, Boma Street in Tico. Thanks to his continuous generosity and under Bishop Bibi's leadership, he went on to fund not only the completion of the school, but also the church and the priest's house on Boma Street.
With regards to education, the pending construction project of St. Pius X College Middle Farms, Limbe, of 8 classrooms, and through the donations of the Friends of the Bishop, built 27 classrooms, and the school is near completion. All of these to enhance learning of the children.
The story does not end there. This same donor has since become the primary supporter of the construction of St. Pius X. This is a technical school in Limbe which houses over 27 classrooms, a project that promises to transform the lives of countless young people. This project was started by Bishop Bibi. After 3 years, the ground floor and its decking were completed, but there were no funds, and that is when this kind-hearted American stepped in and the school is near completion.
On health, Bishop Bibi's friends in the USA, through Dr. Mba, organized a voluntary consultation and bone surgery at Mount Mary Hospital to assist patients every year.
The donors' generosity and Bishop Bibi's vision inspired me personally to step beyond my own limits. During one of our conversations, the topic of healthcare came up. Bishop Bibi, ever the compassionate leader, invited me and my friends to come to Cameroon to volunteer. we gladly accepted. Last year, we visited Mount Mary Hospital, where we provided consultations and performed surgeries.
In order to sustain these projects, a special collection was done to support the construction works in the Diocese of Buea, aimed at serving the community and promoting their spiritual growth.
Yeah, Reverend Father Rodrigue Yancy, you see the way I took a deep breath, because it is something that it is marvelous in our eyes, like
Indeed.
the psalmist says.
Indeed.
Looking at the gigantic projects in the Diocese of Buea, I keep asking myself, what is the secret of Bishop Michael Bibi? Maybe you can tell me as a priest of the Diocese of Buea.
My dear brother, we cannot really say we know his secret, but I think his secret that I can think about is transparency. I say transparency because just from the report that we've had, and from the donor that we had from that came from abroad, what motivated him to give more was because of the transparency of the bishop. The more he gave money for projects to support the diocese, the more the bishop was accountable for everything. And I think that's one great lesson I learned from that, that if I have to be successful in my ministry as a priest, if I have to be successful in dealing with people, not only as a priest, but in dealing with people, it's necessary to be transparent in whatever you do. And I think that is his secret. I can tell him that is secret, Father.
Thank you very much. I think the secret is that transparency, and you see the work being done. And you saw the one of the donors from US of A who came to represent the others. I think from what he read and from what we have seen, it is a kind of that trust, because he mentioned that they saw the ideas of Bishop Michael Bibi and what he has been doing in the diocese, and this wonderful white man decided to help this our suffering church. I think that is something for us to learn as ministers in the church. The accountability and transparency is of the essence here. Of course, Gloria, you have been in Bokwango all your life, and I think you grew up seeing Regina Pacis Cathedral as one of the best church. What is your praise of the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral you see there?
Well, what I have to say is that as a parishioner in Bokwango, St. Martin de Porres Parish, Bokwango, I've only known the cathedral at Mosopo and not that at Moliko. And when I went to Moliko for the first time, I realized that the infrastructure, like everything there, is beautiful, it's marvelous. And I was so amazed, and I took pictures and I posted, and people were like, wow, where is this place located? And I think it's a very beautiful work, because not only is the bishop doing a great work, but then the Christians are also doing a great work. So I'm very, very impressed, and we thank God.
Yeah, I remember somebody asked me that same question, that where is this church located? I say it's somewhere in US of A. But we have USA here in the Diocese of Buea, Father Rodrigue.
Exactly,
I will tell you,
exactly,
you cannot go to US now and see a church that is different from this one. I remember when the St. Martin de Porres parish was constructed, it was a whole talk of the town that is the best church in Buea Diocese. People call yourself the jewel of the diocese. Can you call that again now as compared to
the Co-Cathedral is the gold of the diocese.
All right, okay, that's the jewel, the gold of the diocese. Thank you so much. Moving on, cultured talents accompany the 75th anniversary celebration of the Diocese of Buea as traditional groups, colleges and artists all over the world dance to the tune of the 75th anniversary celebration here in the Diocese of Buea. They also witnessed the cutting of the anniversary ribbon by the Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, as Aloysius Likel tells us in this report.
As thousands gather to celebrate Buea Diocese at 75, they witnessed the cutting of the anniversary ribbon by the Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, José Avelino Bentecourt, accompanied by brother bishops and the governor of the Southwest region.
Buea Diocese,
I am with you always.
thank you very much.
The cutting of the ribbon, one of the key moments of the celebration, did not only crown the 75th anniversary celebrations, but opened a new era of the Diocese of Buea to continue proclaiming the good news. Another key activity to crown the celebration was the beautiful and spectacular display of traditional dance groups from the Northwest and Southwest regions, who all dance in the joy of the anniversary and in the footsteps of our forefathers. celebration also witnessed a presentation from students of the Regional Patches College Repokol Mutengene and a presentation from an artist, all singing to the tune of the 75th anniversary. Another activity that kept the jubilant crowd shouting with joy and praises was the handing over of a gift to Bishop Michael Bibi by his friends in the United States of America, a 2025 brand new Land Cruiser, which the bearer of the gift says is a way of them to provide a shoulder in the form of a car to assist the bishop carry out his pastoral activities within and beyond the diocese. The celebrations drove deep into the night at the Bishop Pius Hour Pastoral Center as Christians, priests and religious joined the bishops and invitees to savor the beautiful cultural animations and a common meal.
Still on the anniversary celebration was marked by the awarding of medals to priests, religious men and women, and Christians who have tirelessly worked for the Diocese of Buea for over 75 years. Hiradon Clinton captured this moment and spoke to some of the awardees in the following report.
In celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea, the steering committee earmarked awarding medals to priests, religious men and women, and Christians who have worked tirelessly for the proclamation of the faith in the Diocese of Buea for these 75 years in one way or the other. Amongst them, consecrated men and women who kept the faith of the diocese via a different charism. Brother Boniface Nkafu, Emeritus Superior of the Brothers of St. Martin de Porres Congregation, is one of the awardees.
This award took me by surprise because in February the religious also recognized me and I was told, but this one on coming here I didn't know I was to be part of it. I was just doing my work and suddenly I heard my name. So I feel very excited, and after being a religious for more than 30 years, I feel very excited that the church is recognizing the little effort we are making despite ourselves. So I'm so grateful, and I want to thank first of all the bishops of Buea, because I had the opportunity to work with Bishop Pius, who was my founder, Bishop Bushu, and now Bishop Bibi. So I want to thank them for the encouragement and the support they continue to give me. And the Christian community at large, the CMA, the CW, all the apostolic groups, the catechists whom we are working every day, those in schools, I want to say a big thank you for the effort, and they continue to support us. And I also use the opportunity that each time you celebrate like this, it is a moment for stock taking, to be able to say, oh, where have I gone wrong? Where can I meant?
For 75 years, the diocese growth has not only been limited to the evangelization of the gospel message, but also to the promotion of holistic education, plethora of academic institutions that include nursery, primary, colleges and higher education facilities speaks volume of these as pupils and students answered present for the anniversary ceremony. Individuals from these sectors were also recognized. The head teacher of Catholic Nursery and Primary School Botha Seaside and the Dean of Students Life at CUIB Entrepreneurial High School Moliko expressed joyful satisfaction after being decorated with the medals.
Abel Leu, head teacher at Catholic School Botha. I'm just grateful today to God, thankful to our Bishop Michael Bibi, who has made it possible for us to be awarded a medalist of hardworking teachers. We promise him that we'll keep pushing forward, keep working hard, and keep making our primary schools a better place for others to come join us.
My name is Sebi Zembelika, a teacher of CUIB Entrepreneurial High School. I received an award today acknowledging my hard work as a teacher in the diocese. I'm so happy, I'm excited, and it feels good to be acknowledged. It feels good to see that the work you're doing is being acknowledged, it's being seen by the teachers, by the parents, and by the diocese. And I promise that this award is only going to be an encouragement, it's only going to be a push for me to do even better so that our students can achieve their goals, and the diocese, of course, can continue to train young leaders who are going to send this country around. Thank you very much.
The award exercise could not have been completed without the Emeritus Bishop of Boya, His Lordship Emmanuel Bushu Banlanjo, who was decorated for his outstanding dedication in shepherding the Christians of Boya as the bishop. The state's cordial relations with the church is also showcased as the governor of the region, His Excellency Bernard Okalabilai, is decorated with a medal.
Wow, 75th anniversary is not 75 days or 75 weeks or 75 months. Father Rodrigue Yancy and Gloria, I will tell you that in order to spice this day, we saw the award of prizes to meritorious people. And looking at it, Father Rodrigue Yancy, what is the symbolism of this awarding of prizes?
Yes, Father, I think this awarding was very necessary. It's very necessary. Why? Because at 75 years of the faith, there are people who have toiled thick and thin, that have gone through thick and thin to make the diocese what it is today. And when you award them, it's a sign of giving them recognition that their work that they did was very useful, and their work cannot go unnoticed. So when they award these people, it's like also a bolster to them that despite the work you do, sometimes maybe you feel nobody is seeing you, at least the church sees you. Even if you feel no one sees you, at least people, they recognize the good work you are doing. It's always necessary to award people or to recognize the good work they have done. I think it was good because if you notice the way the award went, it was throughout various apostolates, various works in the church, even right to even the small children like the cadets. There were some cadets there who were awarded because of their devotedness and their seriousness. So this will boost them up to know that the church recognizes their activeness, their active participation in church, and will boost them up to become more active again in the church.
Of course, Gloria, it was on the 18th of April 1950 that Pope Pius XII created the Diocese of Boya. And of course, Boya Diocese has been for 75 years. Been for 75 years, we have had so many challenges, be it financial, be it administration, be it cultural, religious, and all dimensions. And looking at the award of prizes to everybody, all the categories, from up to down, what is our appraiser?
I think it's a very, very beautiful initiative, considering that it's not just about the church recognizing these people and their efforts throughout these years, but then it's also a way of encouraging the young ones and the older ones to do more, and also those who haven't done anything, it's encouraging them to start up something, because any little thing that you do for God somehow becomes appreciated in the end. So it also took some people by surprise, for example, and imagine that they take this by surprise. They're just so happy about the things they have been awarded. They don't really check the quality or anything, but just the fact that they have been recognized, the effort has been recognized, it's going to boost them to do more. And for those who haven't done anything, it's going to make them to see reasons to do more.
That's right. I remember if you send a little child to go and carry water, and when the child comes and you say that, my son, my daughter, this water is so sweet, is the most sweetest of all sweet that I've ever seen. The child can go to that same river 10 times a day and you will not feel any tiredness. And just joining us in the studio is of course Nadesh May. Welcome, Nadesh.
Thank you very much, Father.
We have been waiting for you, and thank God you are finally here. And I remember while we were doing the commentary during this mass, we're just like talking, we're just speaking, we're just thinking aloud that we didn't see any member of DMROTV receiving an award. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud. But what is the appraiser of that award of medals?
Okay, before diving into that, you did mention about the DMROTV workers receiving an award. We just started, I'm sure it's just 2 years now. Okay. Going to 3. So obviously when it is 100 years, we're going to receive the award. Just tell you that. If you still be alive at that time.
Because some people are warming up to celebrate 150 years. By then I will be in heaven already with the angels. We are singing and dancing.
It's just 25 years from now.
Wow.
Instead we should be doubting, maybe, I don't know if you'll still be there back then. Okay. So let's just see how it goes. And without award, I think Gloria and Father Rodrigue really said elaborately on it, because the award, now if you look out, the people always see Cali Christians work and they don't receive pay, or nothing is being shown for their work that they do. But if you see during that 75th anniversary, you notice that awards were given to people by surprise. They didn't even know that this award is like, let me go and receive it. But you just sit and you notice the next minute you're being called for a medal or other stuff like that. So it just to show them that even if they're working there and they have negative thought or maybe negative say that people say they don't do anything, they are actually working, and we are observing and looking at the works that they're actually doing out there. So the awards that were being given out there is a sign of their devotion, their commitment, and that determination to also work hard, not forgetting the younger ones who are behind. Because I bet you that when you have like 3 children at home, and you award the first one, or you congratulate the first one for his or her work that she's carrying out, I bet you have the younger ones who want to follow that footstep, so that they receive that award and also like show that okay, they are there, they are existing, and they are supporting the family in one way or the other. So it was a good initiative out there.
Thank you very much, Nadeshme. Ahead of the Buea Diocesan Synod slated for May 2026, a six-month preparatory committee have been slated and sent forth to coordinate this wonderful program by Bishop Michael Bibi. This committee has the task of compiling preparatory documents that would outline key themes, questions, and proposals that will guide participants in their discussions during this synod. More on this with Franklin Fomukong.
On the sidelines of the peak celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea, May 7, 2025, the Bishop of Buea, Monsignor Michael Bibi, announced a diocesan synod which has been slated for May 2026.
After consultation with the members of the Presbyterial Council and the College of Consultors, we decided that it was necessary for us to have a diocesan synod.
An arena where clergy and laity would discuss on the future of the 75-year-old diocese. Since the voice of the people is the voice of God, this synod shall be an ecclesial platform where the voices of all, under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, shall be heard. What type of Buea diocese do we want after 75 years? Shall be the caption that will guide synod members in their discussions.
So we are going to reflect together. We are going to think about what we want our diocese to be, and together we are going to come out with concrete proposals so that we should all feel at home in the diocese, we should all work for the good of the diocese, and we make the diocese to be a place that each and every one of us want to belong, want to participate, and want to contribute.
A 16-man committee made of 6 priests, religious and laymen and women, having Reverend Father Ernest Niba as coordinator, was formed with the charge of preparing an instrumentum laboris, a preparatory text that will outline key themes, questions and proposals for discussion during the synod. This synod is purposed towards making Buea Diocese an ecclesial community where all belong, contribute and participate fully, actively and consciously. The preparatory committee for the forthcoming synod has a 1-year period to set in place foundations for deliberations such that expected participants can engage in informed discussions and reflections for a better Buea Diocese.
Wow, what a wonderful initiative from the Bishop of the Diocese of Buea. Father Rodrigo Yancy, you're one of the Synod Fathers, and I think it will be good for our viewers to understand the meaning of a synod before we get into the synod of the Diocese of Buea.
Yes, Father, when you read from the Code of the Canon Law, Canon 460, it gives an allowance for a diocesan synod. So a diocesan synod is a group of priests, a group of clergy, a group of religious, and a group of lay people who come together to assist the bishop in the decision making of the diocese, and it's always held. It's always convoked. It's the bishop who convokes this synod, and it is for it's get to a particular goal. So, like the goal of this particular synod that the bishop is convening is for us to reflect on which type of diocese we want for ourselves after having celebrated 75 years. Yes, I was really humbled as the appointment came to me also by surprise to be one of the secretaries of this synod. And after that, you see that the bishop has given us the task to come out with a working document. The instrumentum laboris for this document. So the instrumentum laboris is a document which is a thematic document.
Yeah.
When I mean thematic, I mean it's how to bring out the various themes for the working for the various sessions which are going to hold. Yeah. Is how to bring out questionnaires which we are going to send out, and is how to structurize the upcoming synod. So this instrumentum laboris, under the leadership of the priest whom the bishop has appointed, we're going to meet together, and we're going to come out with all these thematic structures for the various sessions which we are going to have, and in order to build up for the upcoming synod.
Thank you very much, Nadesh. I think it is a new term for you or not. If it not been a new term, what do you think this synod will really tackle? Let us begin to look at the prospects. Let us begin to foresee the things that you think that the various themes that I think I can even help Father here when they are deliberating on the various themes. So what do you really foresee after being in the diocese for this numbers of years, and after working in DMRO TV, you have been informed in so many things as far as your diocese is concerned, being a journalist, of course, an investigative journalist for that matter. So what do you think? What can you really say this synod will really bring out?
With this initiative by the bishop, like Father said, the synod is like an advisory or influential body to advise the bishop itself, and the bishop said it in his words. It's actually a group being created in order to advise the bishop, in order to, for us to see how 75 let's just say the way we want Buea Diocese to actually be after 75 years. And if you watch or listen to some of the challenges that the bishop actually brought out, or maybe you had other reports, you'll notice that there were some challenges that they have faced for 75 years. Now, with the reign of Bishop Bibi, you'll notice that he has carried out so many activities. We have in the domain of school, we have hospitals, we have even the Caritas itself. He has brought out so many things.
Yeah, just a socio-economic development.
Yeah, let's just put it like that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's still something that we are trying to bring it out or to show, but it's to better strategize, better bring out solutions to some of the issues. I don't want to really mention them out here, but I know we have some of the issues out there. I cannot say because I'm just a journalist.
Yeah.
We have our own way of keeping our things.
Okay.
They normally call it the gatekeeping. So we can't just say it on air. But I think with the synod that the bishop has brought to the Diocese of Buea is actually a good thing, because it is for us to actually let's just say to actually look a way forward, bring out how can I put it, bring out resolutions to better solve some issues in the society.
Thank you very much, Gloria. You are a member of the Diocese of Buea. Of course, you have the full right to really wait for this synod, and you can even be a participant. And in fact, when the questionnaires will be sent, maybe you can be one of them to fill. So what is your expectation after celebrating 75 years? What do you think? What do you see? What do you want for the next Buea Diocese?
Well, I just want more development, more progress, and all of that. And I feel that this synod is going to help a lot. It's a wonderful initiative, like Sister Nadesh said. So we're just looking forward to it, and we expect that it's going to tackle a lot of problems in the society, in the church, and that's what I think.
Yes, coming back to you, one of the council fathers, of course, I would really like to say that you people have a great task ahead of you. Mm-hmm. You may be thinking that it's something very easy. Yet to come out with a plan, the plan is going to be very difficult and challenging too, but I know that you people can do it. And of course, what are your strategies?
Yes, Father. Now, when you look at general, let me start from giving the scope. The scope of this of a synod is get from church doctrine, how are we going to promote church doctrine, to how are we going to develop the liturgy, and then now to the governance of the church. So from the from these three different facets, that is how that's the general scope of a synod generally. So to narrow it down to our diocese, as a plan already, as a plan of action, is already to start looking at what is it, for example, what is it in our liturgy that really needs to be find out, to find it, so that it may go together with the universal liturgy of the church. Things, maybe practices which are in the church, in our liturgy, which we can inculturate, as well as allow the purity of the church liturgy to be there. And then on the other hand, we also see about the governance of the church. Maybe the structure of governance it's not so much pleasing to the people. It's not so much pleasing. There's a place where it's not going well. You know, Buea Diocese has always stood in the limelight for so long. Some positive, some negative. So it's time for us to actually reflect about the positive and see these are the positive aspects we have had. This is how we should go about it and develop it. Meanwhile, the negative aspects, as a diocese, how can we erase all this negativity? How can we cancel all this? So, as that already, we have to look at it from the scope of what a synod has for us and narrow it down to our own diocese.
And Father, just to throw more light on that, I think the bishop actually called some people out there, like we have the father and priest who are actually
yes, who's in charge.
We also have Father James Ajambo who will also be there.
Yeah.
So if the bishop can actually call them out, it means he has really seen that this is the team to actually work toward that goal that we are all waiting for. So it's in their hands now to actually bring out the strategies, and we are there to support them.
All right, thank you so much. Over the weekend, Brothers of St. Martin de Porres of Buea gathered in their chapel in Motengene for a Monday spiritual recollection. In a reflection given by Reverend Dr. Simfred Sino on love and community life, he expressed to them the meaning of these two themes. It provided an opportunity for the brothers to reflect on their vocation, strengthen their community bonds, and renew their commitment to serving others. Details with Magdalene Wondo.
In a serene and calm atmosphere, Brothers of St. Martin de Porres congregation had their usual monthly recollection to reflect and renew their faith. During the recollection, the brothers engaged in prayer, meditation, and sharing of experiences. They reflected on love and community life as they explored ways to deepen their spiritual bond and service to others.
Focus our discussion, the theme was love and community life. And we are inspired by a definition of religious by an atheist philosopher, Forte, who defined religious as a group of persons who gather together without knowing one another, who live together without loving one another, who die without mourning one another. And we're asking ourselves, this definition, is this something that is true of this? And we identify many things that are true of us. And we look at issues that make us not to be truly a communion of people.
These reflections fostered solidarity and purpose among the brothers as they shared their joys and challenges and a way forward to supporting one another in their mission to serve the community.
Also touched by the facilitators' words to us, and it challenged us, and especially myself, that we live together as a community, we live as brothers, and sometimes we don't really know ourselves very, very well. Sometimes we feel that I feel that I know my brothers very well, but sometimes I don't really know where they come from. I don't know their brothers and sisters, all their siblings. I don't know the names of their fathers and mothers. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge to me, because if I call them my brother, then their families should also be their families are my family.
Brothers of St. Martin de Porres are known for their dedication to serving the poor, and so the facilitator challenged them during the recollection to renew their commitment to their mission, inspiring them to truly be one another's keeper as true brothers in Christ.
We ask ourselves, living together under one roof, are we actually a community of religious living fraternal life in communion as defined by Vita Consecrata number 42 and as taught by the church according to the mind of Christ who began this life, and we saw ourselves wanting in many areas. This is an inspiration, a moment of grace for us to walk very strongly. And we agreed that we are going to grow in getting to know one another, be concerned about one another, and to go beyond just existing.
As they continue their ministry, they remain a source of inspiration and hope for those they serve.
Back to the Diocese of Buea. The Diocese of Buea has been praised for laying a solid foundation for the growth of other dioceses in Cameroon. Key stakeholders addressing the mammoth crowd that turned out for the 75th anniversary celebration of the Diocese of Buea re-echoed the need for the Christian community of Cameroon to pray more for the growth of an expansion of the Diocese of Buea. Yannick Funky now comes back to some major highlights in the speeches presented at the end of the Mass on Wednesday, May 7th.
The Diocese of Buea is indeed the model diocese in Cameroon.
Buea Diocese, you are our mother. Nobody can take this natural right away from you. Buea Diocese, you are our mother.
Its foundation marshaled on the cradle of our forefathers whose sweat and blood fueled the growth of evangelization in Cameroon has stood the test of time 75 years after.
Buea Diocese is the mother of the church in the ecclesiastical province of Bamenda, and being the first diocese, it's in a way the mother of the churches in Cameroon. Created on the 18th of April 1950, Buea Diocese celebrates 75 years of existence as a diocese. The next dioceses to be created in this country were created in 1955. So for 5 years, Buea Diocese gloriously reigned as the only diocese in this country.
It has not been all rosy. The diocese has had its own challenging moments.
The mustard seed planted by the Pallottine Missionary Society to spread the Catholic faith and the erection of the Diocese of Buea, which was the story of the Mill Society, has expanded at an alarming rate. True, we have had great successes, setbacks, sometimes painful ones, no doubt. In some of these eras of these bishops, there had been moments, as they were throughout the history of the church, when the seas were rough and it would appear the winds were blowing against the church.
But such moments came to inspire even better opportunities for growth.
We are gathered here to say thank you, God, for taking us this far.
A diocese not only reputed for its growth in evangelization, but also for its legendary hospitality.
Buea Diocese saw the bishops here in January. Buea Diocese is seeing the bishops here again in May. Buea Diocese will see the bishops again in July. And in July you will see us 2 times. And that may not be enough. You will see us again and again and again.
If the diocese continues to thrive, then it is thanks to the stewardship of its bishops who have made remarkable sacrifices in its growth and expansion.
I want our bishop to know that nothing has made us the Christians prouder than to have you as our chief shepherd. You have made us to take our privilege and right position. Buea Diocese can proudly say today that it is the first, the oldest, and above all, the most beautiful diocese.
Faith of
our fathers, Mary's prayers.
It is safe to say the future of the Diocese of Boya is bright. It looks forward with its heads high. The plea from the Christians now is for the diocese to be upgraded to an archdiocese. Surely it will come to fruition.
Of our fathers, holy faith, we will be true to thee till death. We will be true to thee till death. Thank you.
Faith of our fathers, holy faith. Ah la la. It's just that I cannot sing very much. My voice, I think it's a wonderful song. It's a wonderful song. When that song was tuned, I felt some, I felt like I was flying.
Yeah.
The Catholic Church is deep. Jesus created a wonderful church here. Of course, over the weekend, His Excellency Jose Avelino on May 8, 2025, paid a visit to the Catholic University Institute of the Diocese of Boya, which included nursery, primary, high school, and of course the university. He encouraged the learners in these academic institutions of the Diocese of Boya to do better as far as education is concerned. Hirad Leon Takov was part of this celebration and has this for us.
Just one day after the celebration of the diocese's 75th anniversary, the Vatican's representative, Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, His Excellency Jose Avelino Betancourt, visits the Catholic University Institute of Boya complex this Thursday, May 8, 2025. His goal is to encourage the learners at this citadel, which focus on holistic education. His first stop was at the secondary school campus, CUIB Entrepreneurial High School, where he was accompanied by the proprietor, His Lordship Michael Bibi, and the bishops of Kumba and Kumbu, as well as the Archbishop of Bamenda, His Grace Andrew Kea.
Your Excellency, you are welcome. CUIB Entrepreneurial High School, as you can see, is 7 years old. It started like a small mustard seed and it has grown too big in such a way that we still need more space to accommodate the increasement in enrollment.
It's a very special time for you. It's a very special time because you are building your future. You are building what your future will be. And so you have to give 100% of yourself to your studies, to the formation. And then the fact that you are in a Catholic university, a Catholic institution, it means that your formation is three-dimensional. It's intellectual, it's physical, and it's spiritual. So it's more than anything else that you can get. That means you will grow up to become model citizens, model patriots of Cameroon, and good Catholics.
The august guests then visited the nursery and primary school sector, CUIB A&T, where he interacted with the pupils and offered words of encouragement to them.
You are welcome in the name of the Lord. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. And I see you, the glory of the Lord. You are welcome in the name of the Lord.
In addition to the General Assembly, where he was received, he visited several classrooms to encourage the pupils. His final stop was at the university campus, Catholic University Institute of Boya. He was warmly welcomed by the President, Reverend Father Bartholomew Anyawu, faculty members, and students from all schools dressed in their departmental outfit. He also had a brief meeting with the President and the bishops. The Apostolic Nuncio addressed the students, calling on them to be servant leaders in their quest for knowledge as they continue their education in the city of saints and scholars.
I'm the student government president of the Catholic University of Boya, and it's quite an amazing honor to receive the Apostolic Nuncio in our institution, the prestigious Catholic University, the Growth Mindset Entrepreneur University. And one of the most amazing things he said is that we are emulating Christ, and that is a key virtue for each entrepreneur in this institution, because we are building servant leaders who are job creators, not job seekers. So for us, it's a great privilege receiving somebody of that rank in our institution, which means the Catholic Mission values so much our entrepreneurial spirit.
Vice President of the Student Government. We were very privileged today to receive the Apostolic Nuncio of Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea in our institution. And it is the first of its kind that he came to our institution, the very first in Cameroon and probably, I'll say, Africa. So we're very privileged.
The visit to CUIB campus ended as a symbolic gift was presented to Apostolic Nuncio. On behalf of the student body, the President of the Assembly extended good wishes to the Vatican's representative.
We want to first say a very big thank you as the student government body for visiting our campus, and we want to let him know that as he leaves, he has left us with the spirit of servant leadership, and we are going to put it in practice as we go out there and be servant leaders, creating jobs and impacting our society as our motto stipulates. So we want to say a very big thank you, His Excellency, for visiting us, and we are very, very grateful. Thank you.
It is believed that the Apostolic Nuncio's visit to CUIB complex was timely, providing learners with a fresh and holistic source of encouragement.
On this last news item, of course, the long-awaited Pope has finally arrived in the person of Pope Leo XIV. Of course, a day after his election, he celebrated Mass with the Cardinals. Father Fons Ekema in Rome has this report for us.
Thanks for having me. We are standing right here at St. Peter's Basilica to be able to give you updates on what is happening here. Today is day one of the new pontificate of the new Pope of the Church. Yesterday, multitudes of people gathered here at St. Peter's Basilica to witness the white smoke after having waited from Wednesday evening where they witnessed the black smoke, and on Thursday morning, yesterday, this basilica was filled with joy. Lots of people shouting and thanking God for the presence of the new Pope. The new Pope is Robert Francis Cardinal Prevost. Robert Francis Cardinal Prevost from the United States of America, precisely born in Chicago, and he happened to have studied here in Rome at the Angelicum University, where he equally studied theology, and so we know he's grounded in philosophy and theology. He's an Augustinian priest who happened to have done missionary work at Peru, and before coming here to Rome, where he worked at the dicastery in charge of the bishops. It is a joyful moment in the church, and today, the first day of his pontificate, we are here at St. Peter's Basilica, where he is celebrating Mass at the Sistine Chapel, and we equally joined some priests to celebrate Mass in the St. Peter's Basilica, where we had the chance to call his name for the first time in the course of the liturgy. I equally caught up with one of the priests from Tanzania who shared his experience being here yesterday, and equally his prayerful wishes for Pope Leo. Let us hear his experience.
We thank God for this new shepherd, and our wish is that it goes on well with the trend of the church to help us all go to eternity to meet salvation in Jesus Christ. This is the church. We are very happy to be here today, and may God bless you always, now and forever. Thank you very much.
Of course, the long-awaited Pope has arrived. Father Rodrigue Yancy, I remember he took the name Leo XIV. And let us go back to Leo XIII, who came after him, before him, sorry. Leo XIII is known for one of the most important documents in the history of the church. You know, immediately after the Industrial Revolution, there was the issue of labor, human labor being relegated to the background, and the dignity of human labor was taken to the background. And on the 15th of May, 1891, he wrote Rerum Novarum. This document is very, very rich. It talks about capitalism, human labor, the dignity of human labor, the place of human labor, because you know that with the coming of the Industrial Revolution, Nadeshme, human labor was replaced by machine. And there was a lot of unemployment, social inequality. And Father Rodrigue Yancy, looking at the term of office of Pope Francis, and then Pope Leo now coming in, taking the name Leo, we can now begin to picture his pontificate. and what you really... I'm beginning to see the issue of social justice coming in. I don't know, but what do you have?
Yes, Father, as you have already said, the 1891 document, the Rerum Novarum of Pope Leo XIII, was a focus on capitalism and Marxism.
Yeah.
And as I've explained the circumstances at that time. So when I see Leo the 14th, who is again an Augustinian.
Yeah, St. Augustine.
Augustinians they have the charism of love for the poor, and you see him take again after Leo the 13th. As for me, I think it's a new air that is breathing in the church. As for me, even just from his dressing, the way he dressed, the way he came out in public, you saw someone that was going back traditional. That is how that is what we knew of the Holy Father. And I like to say, just when he just came out, just from the way he dressed, I just loved him already from first sight. I really appreciated him. And just to think that that the conclave this time was just in 4 rounds, unlike for so long. For so many years, it has not been so. It was very short. And to think of it that Cardinal Francis has just been a cardinal just for 2 years. He has been in charge in the dicastery for bishops.
Yeah, in charge of bishops.
So when I look at his profile, I already see somebody who is going to be is going to stand out. He has understood the system very well, and he's bringing in a new air for the poor. He's bringing in a new air for the marginalized, just from his name that he has taken, and from his first speech he gave us on that day, on the day of his nomination. I think it's a new era is bringing in the church, and I think he has started well. Just from now, we have had a lot of documentaries about him. We have had a lot of many things about him, and you see that he has always been someone that's always stood out for the poor. He has always stood out for the marginalized, and I think it's going to be a good pontificate from him.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think what was outstanding the very first time he came out of the conclave was his dressing. Pope Francis did not dress as he did. He was just Pope Francis came out with a simple cassock and a stole, but he was dressed as a pope. I think that he's going back to tradition. What was relegated by Pope Francis, I think he's going to pick up as a pope and to pick up from there. And just to say that our eyes are open, our ears are up, and we are seeing what the Holy Father is about doing, and the church is really in need of a wonderful pope who will take us back to tradition and to see how we maintain the teachings of the church, and nothing will be relegated to the background. So it's been a wonderful time having all of you here. Thank you very much, Nadej May, for coming.
Thank you
very much, Gloria, for coming. Thank you very much, of course, Father Rodrigue Jansen, for always being there for us. See you next week, same time, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. If you are just tuning in, you are late already. We are done with 7 days in focus. And of course, keep tuned and keep watching DMRO TV. They are beautiful and interesting program after this. Have a wonderful night and have a blessed Sunday. Tomorrow is Good Shepherd Sunday, and I wish you all a wonderful Sunday ahead of you and a wonderful beginning of week. Have a wonderful night.